Hello, welcome to Cardboard and Plastic. This is Dan, and I have an SGC reveal. This is going to be one of the last reveals I do for a while. I have a CGC order, and I graded a bunch of kind of modern cards, and also some vintage, because I graded them for $10 a piece. So you can't beat that deal right now. However, they were already like 2 months for bulk, and now it's probably, I'll be lucky to see the cards by the end of 2025 here. So I'll probably see those in December. So a few things, I really haven't been buying that much. I kind of lost motivation a little bit for hunting for cards right now. I just have so many cards that I'm trying to organize, and I'm selling quite a bit. I actually have, between selling cards and also I've been buying packs of Panini NFTs and selling the packs. I have like well over $10,000 to spend on cards, but I'm watching some things, and if things pop up I want to buy, I got money to buy it, but really a lot of the cards I want to buy, a lot of other people are chasing, and the prices just seem a little bit too high for me right now. I was watching Double D and Adam from Splendid Sports a couple of days ago, and I really kind of like with Adam there is just, I just see some of the price of cards that I want, and just the prices are just not what I think are good deals right now. And so I'm just enjoying the cards that I have. So today's reveal, I got a 10 card order back from SGC. Their turnaround times are getting better and better and better. I really don't have any cards to send them though. So in the background, you can see some cards that deal with what I'm going to show you today. And I know some people love it when I do this. Some people hate it. But I'm going to basically tell you how much I paid for the card. And all the cards are $17 graded, a little bit under that. It's the shipping to and from SGC on top of the $15, right? So just $17 a piece there for the cards. So I'll show you the first couple of cards, and this card, if you want to buy just ungraded cards, you could buy, and I bought this art shell off of ComC for $2, right? So when I see cards that look like this, I just purchase them. By the way, this is a absolutely gorgeous 6, a little bit off-centered. I guarantee if you look at these in older SGC slabs, you can find 7s and 8s that are not as nice as this. Just beautiful registration. I mean, the corners are super sharp on this card. It is super nice. I am going to look through my, I know I graded this card in the past, and if I have like SGC 7 or a CGC 6 or 7, I don't even know what grades I got in the past in that card. I just keep the nicest looking one, registration and centering wise, and I sell the other ones. This card, I sold all the other ones when I got this one. I had a couple of copies, and I bought this Mike Schmidt for, what is it, $5.98 off of ComC, and it got a 7. But, I mean, this card is absolutely centered really nicely, and very underrated card, first solo card from Mike Schmidt, but it doesn't have any of the horrific, like, print defects on it. So that is a stunning card, and I'm just keeping that for my PC. In the background, I graded this one in the past, 85 Topps Mark McGuire, and I bought this one for $7.24, on ComC. So really, I was expecting maybe to get an 8.5 to a 9 on this. Try to find these things centered. It's almost impossible. Both of these actually have really nice centering. But got an 8. But, you know, basically break even with that card. And if I wanted to buy that card, right, 17 plus 7, right, so like 24, 25 bucks. If you talk about shipping cards, right, it's a good card for my PC. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at that. I think that is nicer than the 7.5, so I'm going to be keeping that one. And this card leads me into a small talk about PSA grading. And John Mangini today, he brought my attention to a video, John English Vintage Sports and Cards, a video called The Change of Grading. He has a part 1, part 2. I would definitely advise people to check that out. And, I mean, he was just comparing, like, 8s now to 8s in the past for, like, 1957 Topps football. Great cards, by the way. And, I mean, you could just see how the standards have changed, how they're grading harder now. And he cracked a bunch. And, by the way, I don't crack a lot of cards. But he cracked a bunch and sent them in just to prove the point. And it was pretty disgusting, right? That just 2 grades lower, like on almost every single card from an old holder into their new holder. It's just crazy. This card got a 5. I did not grade this one. I bought it off of ComC. And the reason for that, and it's like really hard to find, like, there it is, right? You can see the bend in that corner. And it wouldn't have surprised me if PSA, that card is like, besides that bent corner, it is perfect. And it wouldn't have surprised me if PSA damaged that card. And that's why I kind of stopped using PSA. I got back an order, and I really didn't encounter them grading like super, super hard, like some people have encountered, but they are grading super, super hard now. What I saw was I had 3 cards come back in one order that all had the same corner bent. Now, yes, I miss things once in a while, but you can see with this reveal, I didn't really miss too many things at all. Maybe a grade lower than I expected, right? But with PSA, 3 of the corners were bent, and I don't know what their process is, if they're feeding cards through scanners. It just made me sick because I know that maybe 1 I missed, but I did not miss 2. And I definitely did not miss 3, right? So are they putting the cards through scanners, bending corners? Are they just going through cards way too fast at PSA because they're getting like 1.5 million every month? I don't know what's going on there, but I stopped using them. And hopefully with SGC, fair grades with today, beyond fair. And I just hope that they stay in business or keep their standards. So this is the Dan Marino that I got, and $33. Stunning color. Amazing centering for this card. Got an 8.5. So really happy with that card. In the back, there's a Steve Largent I graded, and I'm doing all the Hall of Fame rookie cards from football, basketball, and baseball. And I do want to try to get them graded. And I only grade them when I see things that are kind of exceptional, right? That was a really nice copy of the card. And this one is a 1976 Randy Gradishar, and he, Denver Bronco linebacker, and he just made the Hall of Fame, I believe, in 2024. This card, 705, right? So into this card for about $26, and I don't even know how much I could sell this one for. I'm not. It's staying in my PC. But SGC has graded 52 of that card, and there's only 2 cards that are higher, all right? And the 2 cards that are higher, they might not be as nice as that card. I got that card from Comp C, and it was just stunning, so sent that one in. In the background, you see a 1963 Topps Hank Aaron. Beautiful card, beautiful color, off left to right. 2 soft corners with this card. And if I see a card for a great price, I pick it up. This one I got for $85.64. So like I'm $102, $3 into this card there. It is a beautiful card. Some snowing up there. It got a 4.5, nicely centered. However, I think the registration's better on this. The green is a little bit brighter, right? Orange is a little bit brighter. So I got to decide which one I'm going to keep. And maybe keep them both, right? So I don't know. In the comments below, which card should I keep? The SGC 4.5 or the CGC 5.5? Let me know. But even if I want to sell this one, I could definitely make some profit to roll over into other cards that I want or need. By the way, like part of this is I'm telling you the prices, but this is also things like don't be scared of ungraded cards, right? I mean, how many fakes have I purchased in my life? And the answer is none. And I have bought thousands of vintage cards, right? So a couple, like the big things, like if you're worried about like trimmed and altered cards, right? It's pretty obvious when they're trimmed and altered. I had a few, right? So probably count on one hand how many altered cards I had. And 1971 Topps with the black markers on the corners, that's what you got to be careful of, right? So if you see a perfect 1971 Topps, be wary of that one. I'm just going to show this card off. This is, well, kind of my first Venny. There was a seller on Com C. I think I got this for $3.50, and then I sent it directly to SGC Grading. And this card has a 1 with a tape residue, but the back is gorgeous. Just a little bit missing there, but I like to have fully intact backs. And for Vennies, it's often impossible to get them. So, from the same dealer, and this is one of the best cards you can get for the price for a Venny. $17.75 off of Com C from the same seller. And this is a 1964 Topps Dave DeBuscher. And this card got a 3, which is a pretty high grade for a Venny. The back is fully intact, just rounded corners, but absolutely gorgeous. And Dave DeBuscher is, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer for the NBA. He made the top 50 when they did the 50th anniversary, and he also made the top 75 for the 75th anniversary for the top 75 players. And you can buy his like regular 1964 Topps for like $2. Also his like 1963 Topps. There's like 2 versions of it for the rookies, and it's kind of like the Pete Rose with the 4 heads. You could buy that card for like $1 to $2 if you look on Com C. It's amazing, right, that you can get a Hall of Famer for that cheap, especially in these Vennies. So, love that card. Now, a few other cards that I got. Make some room here. the 1952 Wheaties, I'm working on that set, so I have a couple more cards graded. One of them I graded just to sell. And I'll show you that in a little bit. So the first one is a professional golfer. And the 1952 Wheaties actually has a bunch of female athletes on it. So, and a lot of these are harder to find because when there was I think 8 cards on a box. And when people cut them out, they think they just cut out, and they're next to each other. So to get the full blue border, they would probably do more of the Hall of Fame, the Ralph Kiner, the Bob Fellers, right? Those players would be cut out nicely, and it's really hard to find a lot of these with the full blue borders for the female stars there. So Marlene Bauer, I believe she has a sister, Alice Bauer, that's in the set as well, and I don't have her portrait there. So that's going to go up on the Wheaties wall. And I have a video that I showed you a couple of, probably a week ago, of the progress I'm making towards that. And this card was not cut out nice. I just slabbed it up. By the way, I don't even know how they grade these. I don't think SGC knows how to grade them. I've seen ones that are cut horrible like this. I mean, this does have a couple of wrinkles, but it's pretty clean. Has a little crease there. Got a 1. And this is the 10 Williams Action. And the reason I graded this is I was trying to sell it. And I was getting some comments is it real? I mean, is this real? It's this card that's cut out from a box and it's cut out horribly. Yeah, this is a real card. But I have to explain it to people, and I just get sick of it, and so I just took it down and I just graded it, and now it's going to sell at a higher price and quicker. It's just the way that a lot of people think that these cards. You have to have experience touching these cards and knowing. But a lot of people don't want to put this work in. Now, I got this card off of a lot for 19 of these Wheaties cards for under $480 shipped. And once I sell this guy, I would have sold 6 of them, and I already broke even with it. And then I have on my wall 2 Stan Musials, 2 Roy Campanellas. I have a Yogi Berra. So I have I got 10 cards I needed on my wall for basically free. So this is kind of how I approach the hobby. I do flip a little bit, but a lot of this stuff is just ends up permanently in my collection. The last card is a stunner there, and I bought this one from Batter's Box, and this one cost me, oh, by the way, this was $8, and I got it with this one. So this is the Ted Williams with a full blue border. Got a 5. A beautiful action card. These are actually harder than the portraits to find with the full blue borders. So I did pay, you have to pay up for cards like that. So I paid $195. So into that card, right, over $210. But I could easily sell that for a decent price, but I'm not. This card is staying with me. So I do have the portrait with a 6 for Ted Williams. So I'm done with the Ted Williams for those 2. So now I got to go after, I don't have either George Mikan, so I got to get both of his. And I still got a bunch of little cards to get, but a lot of the cards I need are going to be the Marlene Bauer and Alice Bauer, the action cards. They're just hard to find with the blue borders. So in the comments below, let me know which Hank Aaron should I keep. And I'm really just going to be organizing my cards and selling a bunch of things and displaying a bunch more cards. But I think going forward, I'm going to be buying more specific things, and I want to kind of like have a history of cards up on the wall, starting with like some of like the older Allen and Ginter, some of the I don't even have a T206 or a T205. I sold a bunch of the commons I have, so I just want to get like one nice T205, one nice T206, and just put those up in the wall, like the nicest example of those that I could get for getting like specific Hall of Famers, like a Walter Johnson, a Cy Young. And so kind of like one player, one card per player, and then one card per set. And that's what I think I'm going to be doing going forward. However, I could change my mind and just start doing ungraded runs of players as well. So that's the great thing about this hobby. Just do whatever the heck you want and just have fun with it. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day. Keep on collecting.